What if the dog you thought was jealous of your baby was actually trying to save their life? In a sunny San Diego suburb, the Thompson family, Sarah, David, their 10-month-old son, Jamie, and their loyal Labrador Max live in blissful harmony until a chilling pattern emerges. Picture little Jamie, his tiny hands gripping the living room rug, eyes bright with determination as he tries to crawl for the first time. But every move forward is met with a gentle nudge from Max's nose, pushing him back down. Frustration builds, tears fall, and whispers of jealousy swirl until a shocking truth flips everything upside down. You're lounging in your cozy living room on a sunny California afternoon. The kind where the ocean breeze whispers through the windows and everything feels just right. But then out of nowhere, your faithful furry companion does something that shatters the peace, something that makes your heart race and your mind spin with questions. What if that moment wasn't chaos, but a hidden act of heroism? Friends, if you're an animal lover like me, you know dogs aren't just pets. They're family guardians, and sometimes our unspoken saviors. Today we're diving into a story that'll tug at your heartstrings, challenge your assumptions, and leave you cheering for the underdog, literally. Buckle up, because this tale of a Labrador named Max and a little boy named Jamie is about to unfold in ways you won't see coming. Let's set the scene in the vibrant suburbs of San Diego, where the Thompson family calls home. Sarah, a dedicated mom with a warm smile and endless energy, juggles her graphic design work from a sunlit home office. Her husband David, a laid-back engineer who loves weekend hikes, is the rock of the family. Then there's their bundle of joy. 10-month-old Jamie, chubby cheeks, sparkling eyes, and that infectious giggle that lights up the room. And completing this picture-perfect crew, Max, their golden Labrador retriever, adopted from a local shelter 3 years ago. Max is the epitome of loyalty, always ready for a game of fetch in the backyard, curling up at their feet during movie nights, and greeting everyone with a wagging tail that could power a small windmill. Labradors like Max are renowned for their gentle nature and protective instincts. Think of those real-life heroes we've heard about, like Trixie the Labrador, who saved a young boy from life-threatening nut allergies by alerting his family just in time, preventing a tragic emergency. Or Whitley, another lab who detects low blood sugar in his diabetic owner, averting crises before they escalate. These dogs don't just play. They sense, they protect, and they bond in ways that science is only beginning to understand. But here's where our story takes its first intriguing turn. Little Jamie, at that magical stage where curiosity drives every wiggle, has just started attempting to crawl. Picture him on the soft, patterned rug in the living room, tiny palms pressing down, knees wobbling as he musters all his baby strength to inch forward. His face lights up with determination, those pudgy legs kicking with excitement. It's a milestone every parent dreams of until Max steps in. Without a growl or a bark, just a calm, deliberate nudge from his broad nose or a gentle paw, Max pushes Jamie right back down. The baby lets out a frustrated squeal, his little fists pounding the floor, in protest, tears welling up in those innocent eyes. It happens every single time. Not when Jamie's sitting playing with his toys. Not when he's babbling in his high chair, just when he tries to crawl. Sarah's heart drops the first time she sees it. "Max, no! What are you doing?" she cries, scooping Jamie into her arms, her voice trembling with a mix of fear and confusion. As a new mom, she's already navigating the whirlwind of sleepless nights and endless worries. Now this David, watching from the kitchen doorway, furrows his brow. "He's not hurting him, Sarah. Look, Max is so gentle about it." But doubt creeps in, especially when Grandma Evelyn drops by for a visit. With her no-nonsense attitude honed from years of raising her own kids, she crosses her arms and shakes her head. "I've seen this before. Dogs get jealous when a baby steals the spotlight. Mark my words, it's only going to get worse." And there it is, the seed of suspicion planted. But let's pause and unpack this, because as animal lovers, we know there's often more beneath the surface. Studies show that when a new baby arrives, dogs can experience significant behavioral shifts, About 97% of pet owners report changes in their dog's actions, from increased clinginess to subtle signs of stress. Why the household dynamic flips overnight: less playtime, divided attention, and new scents and sounds that can overwhelm even the most adaptable pup. In one research piece, over a third of dogs were observed licking or nuzzling the newborn, which could be affection or a way to investigate the intruder. But misinterpreting these cues as pure jealousy is a common pitfall leading to heartbreaking consequences. Think about the ripple effects. Frustrated owners might crate their dogs more, limit interactions, or in the worst cases consider rehoming. Stats reveal that feelings of guilt over neglecting pets post-baby affect over half of new parents. And sadly, this sometimes results in higher surrender rates at shelters, up to a 30% spike in some reports. Compare that to families who observe and adapt. They build stronger bonds, turning potential conflict into harmony. The lesson here: don't rush to judgment, take a breath, watch closely, and remember, our dogs communicate in ways we might not immediately understand. Rushing to punish or isolate can erode trust, while patience often reveals the truth. As the days turn into weeks and Jamie's crawling attempts become more persistent, Max's interventions don't let up. The family's whispers grow louder. Is this jealousy boiling over, or something else entirely? Hold on tight, because what starts as a simple nudge is about to unravel into a web of escalating doubts and heated clashes that will test the Thompsons like never before. As the whispers of doubt begin to echo through the Thompson household, the simple act of a baby's crawl turns into a battlefield of emotions that no one saw coming. Imagine those quiet evenings in their San Diego home, the golden hues of sunset filtering through the windows, casting long shadows on the living room floor. Little Jamie, now more determined than ever, plants his chubby hands on the soft carpet, his face flushing pink with effort, as he pushes forward one wobbly knee at a time. His breaths come in excited puffs, tiny fingers gripping like they're conquering the world. But just as he gains an inch, Max is there, calm as a summer lake, his broad golden head dipping low to nudge Jamie gently, but firmly back down. No bark, no snap, just that insistent push, leaving Jamie to let out a heart-wrenching whimper that pierces the air like a siren. Night after night, week after week, the pattern repeats, turning what should be joyful milestones into moments of mounting frustration and fear. Sarah feels it deepest in her bones. As she watches from the couch, her graphic design sketches forgotten beside her, tears well up unbidden. "This can't go on, David," she says one evening, her voice cracking like fragile glass. "Max is stopping him every time. It's like he's pinning our baby down. What if it's more than jealousy? What if he hurts him?" She's already picturing the worst, her mind racing through horror stories she scrolled through online late at night. David, pacing the kitchen with a mug of cold coffee in hand, shakes his head, his engineer's logic kicking in. "Sarah, remember that time Max barked like crazy and woke us up to the smoke from the oven? He saved us from a potential fire. He's not aggressive, he's deliberate. Let's not jump to conclusions." But the seed planted by Grandma Evelyn during her weekend visits grows like a weed. With her sharp eyes and stories from back in her day, she leans in over Sunday brunch, her tone laced with warning. "I've heard tales of dogs turning on families after a baby arrives. One neighbor's pooch started nipping at the heels. Next thing, they had to give him up. Don't let it get that far." And oh, how those words sting. Because as animal lovers, we all want to believe in the unbreakable bond between pets and people. But let's peel back the layers here, friends, because this is where the real lessons hide. Research shows that when a new baby enters the picture, dogs often undergo noticeable behavioral shifts. In one study, about 33% of dogs were observed licking or nuzzling the child as a way to bond or investigate, while others might withdraw or seek more attention. It's not always jealousy, sometimes it's stress from the upheaval, like sudden cries disrupting their routine or sense of formula overwhelming their sensitive noses. Compare that to cats who might hide under the bed to cope, versus dogs like labs, who express it more overtly, perhaps by staying close or in rare cases intervening physically. The consequences of misunderstanding heartbreaking. Untreated tensions can lead to pet abandonment. Statistics reveal that major life changes like having a child contribute to owner surrenders with some shelters, reporting up to 10 to 20% of cases tied to family expansions or mismatches. And here's a common mistake we all make, rushing to label behaviors without observing the full picture. Instead of punishing or isolating, what if we pause to understand families who do often turn potential rifts into deeper connections? Think joint training sessions or supervised play that rebuilds trust. The takeaway: patience isn't just kind, it's powerful. It motivates us to see our furry friends not as problems, but as partners navigating change right alongside us. But just when the Thompsons think they've hit a fragile truce, the tension explodes in a way no one expects. One crisp evening during a family gathering, cousins laughing, the aroma of barbecue wafting in from the backyard, Jamie makes his boldest crawl yet, scooting toward the open sliding door with surprising speed. The room falls silent as Max lunges forward, not with his usual gentle nudge, but with an urgent paw pressing down more firmly, his body blocking the path like a living shield. Jamie's cries erupt louder than ever, and chaos ensues. Sarah scoops him up in a panic, yelling, "That's it, David! We're crating him tonight! Grandma!" Evelyn nods vigorously, muttering about escalating risks, while David kneels, staring into Max's steady eyes, whispering, "What are you trying to tell us, boy?" The argument boils over, voices rising like a storm, accusations flying, jealousy, danger, loyalty, all clashing in a whirlwind that leaves everyone raw and divided. Little do they know this urgent block isn't aggression. It's a desperate clue hiding a truth that will shatter their assumptions. Hold your breath, because as David starts piecing together the patterns in the quiet aftermath, the mystery deepens into something far more profound: observations that challenge everything they thought they knew, pulling in expert insights and unexpected parallels that could change everything. A quiet San Diego evening, the kind where the crickets hum and the Thompson household feels like it's holding its breath. The living room, once a haven of laughter and warmth, now hums with unease, as Sarah and David grapple with Max's relentless nudging of their crawling baby Jamie. After that explosive family barbecue where Max pinned Jamie down with an urgency that sent Sarah into a panic, the questions pile up like storm clouds. Is this Labrador, their loyal companion, really acting out of jealousy? Or is something deeper, something unseen, driving his actions? As animal lovers, we've all felt that tug of instinct telling us our pets know more than they let on. Tonight we're diving into the clues, the patterns, and the voices that start unraveling this mystery. Because what unfolds next will have you rethinking everything you thought you knew about your furry friends. Let's rewind to the aftermath of that heated night. Sarah, her eyes red from tears, sits on the couch with Jamie asleep in her arms. His soft breaths, a stark contrast to the storm of emotion swirling inside her. David, ever the problem solver, can't shake the image of Max's steady golden eyes, calm, focused, not a hint of malice. He starts watching more closely, his engineer's mind kicking into gear, noting every detail, like he's debugging a complex circuit. Jamie's crawls are persistent, but off his left knee pushes strong, propelling him forward, but his right leg drags stiff and weak, like it's caught in some invisible snag. Every time Jamie leans too hard on that side, straining with a tiny grimace, Max is there, his paw or nose gently pressing him flat, stopping the struggle before it worsens. David mutters to himself. It's only when he's off balance. Why just then? This observation sparks a shift, turning frustration into curiosity. Let's unpack this, because dogs like Max Labradors especially are wired with instincts that often outsmart our own. Did you know dogs can smell chemical changes in our bodies, detecting everything from stress hormones to early disease? Studies show their noses are up to 100,000 times more sensitive than ours, picking up on pain or distress signals we miss. Real-life heroes like Max aren't uncommon. Take Bella, a lab, who alerted her family to their child's undiagnosed seizures by pawing insistently during subtle tremors, saving her from injury. Or consider Max's distant cousin, a service dog named Rusty, who sensed an infection in his owner's leg before doctors did nudging until they sought care. Compare that to cases where ignoring such signals led to tragedy, like a family who dismissed their dog's odd behavior only to discover a child's asthma condition too late, resulting in hospitalization. The consequence of missing these cues? Delayed diagnoses that can alter lives forever. David decides it's time for outside perspective. He takes Max and Jamie to their trusted vet, Dr. Carter, hoping for clarity. The vet watches Max closely, noting his calm demeanor. But initial checks on Jamie show nothing obvious. No bruises, no pain when prodded. "He's healthy as far as I can tell," Dr. Carter says, scratching Max's ears. But dogs like him, they sometimes sense what our tools can't. It's not enough to ease Sarah's fears, though. She's still reeling, her mind stuck on Grandma Evelyn's warnings about jealous pets turning dangerous. But then a neighbor, Ms. Lopez, drops by with a story that plants a seed of doubt. "Our lab Daisy kept pawing at my son's chest when he was little," she shares over coffee. "Turned out he had a heart murmur we'd missed. Daisy knew before the doctors." Sarah's eyes widen, her grip tightening on her mug. Could Max be doing the same? This moment deepens the mystery, and here's where we learn another lesson for us. Animal lovers, we often lean too hard on human logic, dismissing what our pets are screaming to tell us. It's a common mistake, assuming behavior is misdirected or malicious when it's communication. Think about it. How many times have we scolded a dog for barking at nothing only to realize later it was a warning? One study found that 60% of pet owners initially misinterpret protective behaviors as aggression, leading to strained bonds, or worse, rehoming. The fix? Simple but profound. Observe with intention. Try supervised interactions, like letting Max and Jamie play under close watch or journal patterns to spot what triggers the behavior. These steps don't just solve mysteries, they strengthen trust, turning pets into partners in our family's story. But just when David thinks he's onto something, a plot twist hits like a thunderbolt. Sarah, desperate for answers, secretly sets up her phone to record Max and Jamie during a quiet afternoon. She expects to catch proof of jealousy to convince David to act. Instead, the footage reveals something chilling. Max isn't just nudging randomly, he's laser-focused, only intervening when Jamie's right leg drags at its weakest, his tiny face twisting in discomfort. Even when Sarah steps away, Max stays vigilant, lying beside Jamie with a stillness that feels almost human, his eyes locked on the baby's every move. Sarah watches the video, her breath catching. "David," she whispers, voice trembling, "this isn't jealousy. He's protecting him." That revelation sends shivers through the house, but the truth is still out of reach, buried beneath layers of doubt and fear. As David and Sarah exchange wide-eyed glances, the real question looms: what is Max trying so desperately to protect Jamie from? Get ready, because the clues are about to lead to a heart-stopping discovery that will change everything they thought they knew. The air in the Thompson household is thick with tension, like a storm ready to break. After Sarah's chilling discovery on her phone, Max, their golden Labrador, deliberately stopping Jamie's crawls with a focus that's almost human. The questions burn brighter than ever. Is Max protecting their baby from something they've all missed? The living room, bathed in the soft glow of a San Diego twilight, feels like a stage, where every glance and whisper carries the weight of a life-changing truth. As animal lovers, we've all sensed that spark of intuition in our pets, that unspoken wisdom that tugs at our hearts. Tonight, that spark ignites into a revelation that will leave the Thompsons and you speechless. Buckle up, because this is the moment where fear, doubt, and love collide in a heart-stopping climax that changes everything. It's a tense family dinner, the kind where the clink of forks feels louder than it should. Relatives are gathered around the table, plates piled with lasagna, but the mood is anything but festive. Jamie, now 10 months old, is in his high chair babbling happily until he's set down on the rug for playtime. The room watches as he musters his strength, his tiny hands gripping the carpet, his face scrunching with effort as he crawls toward the open patio door. He's faster this time, more determined, his left knee strong, but his right leg dragging awkwardly, a detail that now haunts David's every thought. Sarah's eyes dart to Max, who's lying nearby, his golden fur catching the lamplight. Before Jamie gets far, Max rises swiftly, his movement fluid, yet urgent, and presses his broad paw against the baby's back. Not gently this time, but with a firmness that stops everyone cold. Jamie's cry pierces the room, raw and frustrated, and chaos erupts. Enough, Sarah screams, lunging to scoop Jamie up, her voice breaking as tears spill over. David, he's scaring him. We can't keep pretending this is okay. Her hands tremble as she clutches Jamie, his sobs muffled against her shoulder. Grandma Evelyn Fork paused mid-air, shakes her head darkly. I told you dogs don't change. He's staking his claim, and next time it won't just be a push. The relatives murmur agreement, their voices a chorus of doubt, but David kneels beside Max, his heart pounding. Sarah, look at him. He pleads, his voice raw. No growling, no teeth. He's calm. He's trying to tell us something. But Sarah's too far gone, her fear drowning out reason. Tell us what, David, that our baby's in danger. I'm done waiting. She storms toward the phone to call the pediatrician. Her decision final, Max is out of the house unless answers come fast. Let's pause here because this moment is where human emotion clashes with animal instinct, and it's a lesson we all need to hear. As pet owners, we've all faced that gut-wrenching moment of doubt when our love for our animals battles our protective instincts. Studies show that 65% of new parents report tension with pets after a baby arrives, often because we misread their signals. Compare this to success stories, families who trusted their dog's odd behaviors, like a lab named Cooper, who pawed at a toddler's leg, leading to an early cancer diagnosis that saved her life. The opposite. Ignoring those cues can lead to devastating outcomes, like a child's undiagnosed condition. Worsening is seen in cases where pets were rehomed only for medical issues to surface later. The mistake we make, letting fear override observation. The fix is simple. Slow down, watch, and trust that our pets might see what we can't. A quick tip: keep a log of behaviors to share with vets or pediatricians. It's a small step that can bridge the gap between instinct and understanding. The Thompsons don't have to wait long for answers. The next morning at the pediatrician's office, Dr. Patel examines Jamie with a furrowed brow. Tests are ordered, x-rays, mobility checks, and the results hit like a thunderbolt: congenital hip dysplasia. Jamie's right hip joint is malformed, causing weakness and uneven movement. Crawling without support could strain it further, risking permanent damage like chronic pain or even a lifelong limp. Dr. Patel's voice is gentle but firm. You're lucky you caught this early. If he'd kept straining, surgery might have been inevitable. With therapy, he has a strong chance at full recovery. Sarah's hand flies to her mouth, tears streaming as she processes the words. David's voice cracks. Max. He knew. The room falls silent as the truth sinks in. Max wasn't holding Jamie back out of jealousy. He was shielding him from harm, sensing pain no human saw. But here's the twist that'll make your heart skip. A flashback ripples through David's mind. Years ago, when they adopted Max from a shelter, the staff mentioned he'd had mild hip issues as a pup, treated with care, but leaving him sensitive to movement. Could Max have recognized that same struggle in Jamie, his own past, mirroring the baby's present? It's a poetic connection, a bond forged in shared vulnerability, making Max's actions not just instinct but empathy. Sarah collapses into a chair, clutching Jamie, whispering, "Oh, Max, I'm so sorry." David's eyes well up, his hand resting on her shoulder, as they realize their loyal lab wasn't the villain, he was the hero. This revelation shakes the Thompsons to their core, but the story's not over yet. As they return home, hearts heavy with gratitude and guilt, A new chapter begins, one of healing bonding and a deeper understanding of the dog who saw what no one else could. Get ready, because what comes next will warm your soul and remind you why our pets are more than family. They're our fiercest guardians. The Thompson household, once a battleground of doubt and fear, now hums with a quiet healing energy under the San Diego stars. Max, their golden Labrador, has gone from suspected villain to unsung hero, his gentle nudges revealing little Jamie's hidden hip dysplasia before it could steal his future. As animal lovers, we've all felt that deep, unspoken bond with our pets, the kind that whispers truths we're too busy to hear. Tonight, we close this journey with a heartwarming resolution that'll leave you teary-eyed and inspired, reminding you why our furry friends are our fiercest protectors. Get ready, because this finale is a love letter to trust, gratitude, and the unbreakable ties that make a family whole. Back home, the living room rug, once a stage for tension, now hosts a tender scene. Sarah sits cross-legged, Jamie nestled in her lap, his tiny fingers clutching a soft toy. Max lies stretched beside them, his golden fur warm under the lamplight, his eyes soft and steady. Sarah's hand, once trembling with fear, now strokes Max's head, her voice barely a whisper. "I doubted you, buddy. I thought you were taking something from him, but you were giving him everything." Jamie gurgles, reaching out to tug Max's ear. And for the first time, Max doesn't nudge him away. He just rests his head closer, letting the baby's clumsy grip linger. David crouches nearby, his eyes glistening as he watches this trio, his voice thick. He knew Sarah. Before any of us he knew. The diagnosis has changed everything. Jamie's in gentle physical therapy now, his right hip supported to grow strong and straight. Max, ever the guardian, becomes his therapy buddy, lying patiently during sessions as Jamie grips his fur for balance. Picture it a sunny clinic room, Jamie giggling as he takes wobbly steps, Max's tail thumping like a metronome of encouragement. The doctors marvel, early intervention means Jamie's likely to walk, run, and chase Max across the backyard without a limp. But the real transformation is in the Thompsons' hearts. Sarah, once ready to crate Max, now shares his story on social media, her posts going viral with thousands of likes from pet lovers who've seen their own dogs work miracles. One comment sticks with her: "My lab saved my daughter from choking. She pawed at her until we checked." Trust your dogs. It's a ripple effect, inspiring families to listen closer to their pets. Let's dive deeper, because this is where the lessons hit home for us animal lovers. Pets like Max aren't just companions, they're intuitive allies. Studies show dogs can detect health issues from seizures to infections, often before medical tools catch up, thanks to their ability to sense chemical changes in our bodies. Compare this to stories like Luna, a lab, who alerted her family to a toddler's undiagnosed diabetes by refusing to leave her side, leading to a life-saving diagnosis. The flip side: when we ignore these signals, we risk missing critical warnings. Think of families who dismiss their dog's odd behaviors only to face delayed diagnoses and regret. The mistake we make is projecting our fears onto their actions, assuming jealousy or malice instead of wisdom. The fix? Build trust through small acts, supervised play, reward-based training, or even just sitting with your pet to observe their cues. These steps don't just prevent conflict, they deepen bonds, turning pets into partners in life's biggest moments. The takeaway: our dogs see us, really see us, and when we listen back, we unlock a love that's nothing short of miraculous. But here's the twist that'll tug at your heartstrings months later. As Jamie takes his first assisted steps, Max is right there, matching his pace like a shadow. One evening, Sarah finds an old photo from Max's shelter. Day's a scrawny pup with a slight limp, his own hip issues overcome with care. She realizes Max wasn't just protecting Jamie. He was guiding him through a struggle he'd known himself, a silent vow to spare the boy his pain. Tears fall as she hugs Max, whispering, "You're our guardian angel." The family's bond grows stronger, their home now a sanctuary of trust. They even start a local pet adoption drive sharing Max's story to inspire others, knowing every dog has a hero inside. As we wrap this tale, let's reflect. Max didn't just save Jamie, he taught us all to trust the instincts of those who love us without words. So next time your dog nudges you a little too hard or stares a little too long, pause. They might be trying to tell you something life-changing. This story leaves us with a simple truth. Our pets are more than family. They're our fiercest guardians, seeing what we can't, loving us through every step. If Max and Jamie's story touched your heart, hit that like button to spread the love for our furry heroes. Share your own pet stories in the comments. Has your dog ever sensed something you missed? Let's celebrate these unsung guardians together. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell for more heartwarming tales that remind us why animals are our greatest allies. Your support keeps these stories alive, so join our community and let's keep the inspiration flowing.